Welcome back to LutherCraft, where we are building the Temple of Ezekiel in Minecraft as described in the book of, Ezekiel. So let's get right into this build world tour. Alrighty, so here it is. This is what it's like inside the temple complex. The big buildings right now are the gates, those ones and all that there. There are supposed to be 6 gates, as described in the book of Ezekiel. One for the east, south, and north. And then as you go in to the temple, there's 3 more. So I've built 4 so far, and 2 to go, and there's a little incline there, and as we go closer and closer to the temple proper, it gets higher and higher in elevation, because the idea is you're like climbing this mountain. So that's kind of the idea there. And then over here, I've started working on these little smaller buildings. There's supposed to be 30 of them, and they go all around the perimeter of the whole complex. And the purpose of them is to eat inside of them. So I have these chairs made from smooth sandstone, and I've got this little piston table. Under there's a redstone torch, so you can see. I'm trapped. So the piston goes on top of the redstone torch, and there you go. You got a table. On the floor here, I have a combination of this white glazed terracotta and then snow, and it I don't know how to describe it except that I was going for kind of like a early Byzantine vibe art style. It's kind of very hard to describe, and I think I kind of got it. But I don't know, you can let me know what you think. I decided to keep this open air. I don't know, it just kind of seemed sensible. Maybe I can wall it up with something, but I liked the idea of it kind of being more of an open air. And then the floor is supposed to be like a special sort of like pavilion floor, so I did a special design for that. I haven't done any special design for this floor. I don't know if I even should. All I've done so far is just a little path that connects the various gates together. I promised myself I wouldn't talk about theology, but I just have to mention this one thing, this one thing that came to my mind as I was building this, that you have all of these rooms that are just for eating around the outside, and then as you go further in, there's even more rooms for eating, and then on the corners, I haven't built them yet, but there's these kitchens. And a lot of the temple complex is literally just dedicated to cooking and eating, which is weird because you generally think of the temple as somewhere where you go, you do your sacrifice, maybe hear some pretty music, and then you go home. What's often really underestimated is just how important eating is to the whole system. Like in the ancient Near East, meat was a delicacy, and oftentimes you didn't get your meat until you brought an animal to sacrifice. And so that was like a really rare thing. And so you'd bring your animal to the sacrifice. Part of it would go up in smoke to God. Part of it would go to the priests, sort of as their portion. And then you and your family would take some of that meat home to eat. But in this temple complex, you can do your sacrifice, take some of that meat, and then go and eat in one of these little pavilions. So you don't have to go all the way home and risk it spoiling or anything like that. And that's really, really interesting. Just how much of an emphasis is placed on eating, and I think that's actually a really important part of Christian theology as well, because you've got Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, which is of course the main focal point of the religion, but then there has to be a participation in that sacrifice, this ongoing meal that we participate in and that we eat of the sacrifice, and that's the Lord's Supper. And so the big emphasis on eating the sacrifice and eating being a part of participating in the sacrifice, that hasn't gone away between Old and New Covenant. It actually has just gotten emphasized, if anything. And that was just a really interesting thought I had as I was building these things. These are my doggos. They keep me safe. Good doggo. And now what we need to do is get a bird's eye view of this. So let me just go up there real fast. So here's what this whole thing looks like from up on top. I think it looks pretty cool. You can see the footprint of this temple is so big it can't even really render the whole thing. You have to be right in the middle to be able to actually see the whole thing in a 360 view. But I think it's really cool. You can see some of the unfinished buildings over there, and there's going to be a bunch more there. And then the temple itself goes kind of in front of that nether portal a little bit. So that should be really cool when that finally goes in. Now, I got a few to-dos on my to-do list. Oh, no, I'm gonna die! Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. Well, good thing this isn't real life. Oh. Well, that's a bummer. I'm all the way back at spawn. Here we go. I should really know better than to walk around in third person, but I am really dumb. Do, making our way down to the temple. Ooh, it's appeared in the distance. How pretty is that? Do, if I do say so myself. Is that pretentious? Is that a flying egg? Oh no. No. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. You know who you are. I'm gonna kill you. Oh my goodness gracious sakes. Now, here's our first order of business on our to-do list. This guy right here is very helpful. This guy is called a Happy Ghast, and what he can do is he can take us up into the air, and he can help us build, and he can do, look at his little glasses. Oh my goodness. He can help us build, and he can help us get around, and so he's super helpful, and I think, oh boy, see, there's the man himself. There's the prankster himself in the background, and I want to give this guy a name. So I'm going to go get a name tag, and we're going to name this guy. That's our first order of business today. First, let's get all of our stuff, because that would be very unfortunate if that despawned. Alright, now I know one of the villagers sells name tags. I just don't know which one it is. Let's see. Oh, it's this guy. Okay, cool. He wants 20 emeralds. And there we go. Okay, cool. Just one name tag will do. Here we go. Put that back. Okay, while we're here, I also want to get items for a map, because I think that could be really fun. I need a compass, which means I need more emeralds. Alright. Actually, let me get a couple compasses. There you go. You've leveled up. You're welcome. Then I need paper. Oh, shoot. Where do I keep the sugarcane? I might need to go steal some paper. Now, you might be tempted to bring up Exodus 20:15, which says, "You shall not steal," but there's also 2nd Hesitations 20:15 that says, "What of it? What are you going to do about it? What you going to do? I want to know. What are you going to do? I'm stealing your sugarcane. What are you going to do about it?" Anyway, with that commandment breaking out of the way, let's get back over to the temple complex. Alright, we are back, and we're going to go name our Ghast. Anyway, but the Ghast is officially going to be named the Holy Ghast. Boom. It is now the Holy Ghast. It works, right? It's a ghast floating around the temple. What else could we call it? Come on, be honest. Oh, I absolutely love this. This brings such joy to me. Is it blasphemous? Probably. It's the Holy Ghast. What do you want from me? Oh man, that's amazing. All right, I'm gonna fall. Ah! And we didn't die that time, which is fantastic, because I have Feather Falling 4. All right, let's get some maps going. I have enough for 7, and I'm really curious to see what this is gonna look like. Here we go. All right. Take a look. Oh, okay. All right. So we're the little white arrow there, dot thing, and the brown squares are the eating rooms, and the gold outline on the buildings are the signs, I think, which is weird because you can barely see the signs from here, but on here they just really glow. That's fascinating. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, all right. Well, let's see. Let's go over to this section, see if we can get a map of that part. Okay, so we're off the map now, and if I make a new map, theoretically, this should be a different part of the complex. Okay, so these are the incomplete, I guess, buildings there. And then the white wall apparently is unfinished, and that there's apparently a little missing patch. So I need to do... See, this is very helpful for me to know what I need to fix. That's actually really helpful. But it didn't get this, so let's see if we can get that on a different map. Oh, I guess you can see like the little corner there. Okay, so we're now officially off that map, and we can start a new map. See what we got. Not that exciting, not gonna lie. That's not really that exciting. But I guess we can fill in the rest of it, just like so. I'm gonna just finish making the maps of this area, and then I'm gonna put them all on the ground and see what they look like all together. Okay, with all of these maps done, we need to go and get some item frames so that we can place them all down. But for that, I'm gonna need some leather, and so I need to go kill some cows. Here we go. I just missed 2 chickens while I tried to punch them. What am I doing with my... There we go. I've just punched a baby chicken. Do I feel good about myself? No. No, I do not. Alright, if you are an animal lover, now is a good time to look away. That's probably animal cruelty there in the background, but you know what? It's Minecraft. What are you going to do about it? Alright, so we're going to just make a bunch of item frames. 7, that's perfect. And then let's go find a place in the temple to put down this little map. Or maybe, what we could do is like, sort of like, as you go into the temple area, you see, ooh, oh no, I've got a great idea. Oh, I've got a fantastic idea. Okay, I don't think this will work long term. I'll probably have to like cover it up with glass or something. But for now, what if we just put them on the ground right as you go into the temple? And let's see what we got. Where's the first one we took? I think it was this one. That one we put like right there. There we go. Okay. No, maybe this should go here. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So right there, that little structure is this structure right here. Okay. So let's see if I can fit the rest of these puzzle pieces in. But okay, so that's what it looks like so far. Not gonna lie, not as impressive as I hoped it would be. But you do get the general idea that this is a big flat complex, and you've got these gates. You got a gate there. You've got a gate there. You've got a gate. You can just see the tip of it right there. And they're all coming into the center square. And right in the middle of that center square is going to be the altar. So it's like literally the middle point of the entire temple is the altar. Because that's like the most important part. And then like where they go in and actually like do their priestly duties. The temple itself is actually a little bit off to the side. But it's the altar that's the main middle focal point of the whole thing. That's like really cool to me actually, I think. Anyway, I won't bore you with any more theology. That's a quick video for today. I thought it would be fun. I hope you enjoyed this little progress update. And as always, thank you for watching. Goodbye!